For our beautiful swirl earring project we have here, we're going to be using the artistic wire earring hook jig, and we've got a 0.8 gauge wire for our ear hook. We're using the horn bead, a swirl pattern bead, a 2-inch head pin. I've got a small seed bead. You just want to have one that basically won't fit through the hole on the swirl. And tool-wise, we've got cutters, flat nose pliers, nylon coated pliers and round nose pliers. So I'm going to start by creating the ear hook for the project. So in order to do that, I'm going to use my flat nose pliers and nylon coated tipped pliers. So I'm just going to hold one side of the wire and I'm going to run the nylon tipped pliers all the way across in a nice smooth movement to straighten out the wire. So I just want to keep running that along until I'm happy that I've got the wire straight enough for my project. Okay. We're then going to take the jig and we're going to place this from the front of the jig to the back and about a finger's width, and then I'm going to fold that at a 90-degree angle and support that with my finger. I'm now going to come across the top, so between the two pins, and I'm going to loop round the bottom one. So I'm coming right across and down, and then I'm coming under, back through both, so it's coming across the smaller pin, and then back around. We're then going to loop round the jig over the top, just going to secure that down. And then I'm going to come in between the round and the triangle on the jig. I'm then going to come across the triangle and just gently pull up a section on the other side. Now to release this from the jig, we're just going to flop it round. Release the fold that we started with, and then that will just flop out at the front. Obviously that doesn't look like the shape we want, so we're going to use our cutters to tidy that up. So we're going to take away the excess wire here, so using the smooth edge we're going to get nice and tight and take away any excess wire on this section. And then we want to have a tiny hook for the ear, so we're just going to take away the excess wire on that section, like so. So now we've got our ear hook made, we can move on to actually putting the earring together. Take your head pin and you want to firstly put on the seed bead that's going to stop the swirl pendant. So that's going to go down to the bottom of the head pin, and then we're going to put our swirl on to the head pin as well. So that's just going to go through. You're then going to take the horn pendant and we're going to go up through the hole on the pendant, and then we're pulling the head pin all the way to the top. We're then going to use round nose pliers to create our loop at the top of this. So you'll notice I'm placing the pliers flush against the top of the horn pendant bead, so there's no gap. And then with a nice tight grip, I'm going to push the pin away from me at a 90-degree angle. So I'm folding that over the pliers, so over the top of the pliers. We're then going to release the grip on the pliers and we're just going to move the position. So I was here and I'm just moving my pliers upwards. I'm then going to take my finger this time, and with my finger being against the pliers, bring that all the way over the top. I'm just going to swap to the thumb to push that down towards your bead mat. So we've created a question mark shape. Place your pliers into the loop, so we've come out with the pliers and we're going to place the prong back into the loop and one on top to support it, and then you're going to create a wrap. So I'm coming under the pliers and bringing that round, and as I do I'm going to spiral downwards ever so slightly to make a nice coil effect with the head pin. We're now going to take this excess wire away, so I'm going to just lift that upper section, and then we are going to take the pliers in and cut away any excess wire that we no longer need. If you end up with a tiny lip here, you can use your pliers, the flat nose pliers, to just tease that in so there's no sharp edges. And then very simply we're just going to open the loop on our ear wire. So I'm just opening it very similar to as I would a jump ring, so just lifting it up. And then I'm going to place my head pin that I've created the loop with onto there, and we're going to close that back together, and that will give you a beautifully finished earring.